Down in the bottom right-hand corner, our purple Zerg player, Caronte Esports Club's Vortix.
All right, let's see how Vortix can do to try to follow up that first win. Mana did have the map choice this time, so perhaps he's got something super sneaky in mind. I don't know. As he goes down to his natural, it looks like he has not even built. Okay, there's that pylon. I was like, he set the probe down, didn't build anything for a second, but he's just a little bit over-eager. Now he can start scouting that vertical position, and he'll probably find Vortix pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
As you know, most players do actually scout clockwise. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Either way, he will find him down in the bottom right corner. Vortix will actually have to wait for that Overlord to scout him, or just figure it out as the probe moves up his ramp.
Yep, well, probe's there pretty quick, and hopefully he'll be able to identify that time. But regardless, I mean, this is a pretty large map. While you do have the banana hallway back here that you've got to watch out for attacks whenever you are in these vertical positions, it's still one that usually lends itself to multi-base play. I mean, it's not like either of these guys are an immediate threat for the meantime.
That's true. We've got a spawning pool first for Vortix, though. Could actually turn into some kind of aggression, or, you know, just waiting for that probe to be as annoying as it usually is, and perhaps even dropping a pylon at the natural. But for the moment, he's just keeping track of all these drones, trying to keep an eye on them, and will eventually move over to that natural position. Of course, Vortix will keep an eye on it with his Overlord and know if it's there for sure, that he needs to go try to respond to that. Look at the little upside-down Little Dipper that he just had there a second ago. About 2 drones actually moving out to deal with this probe is going to perhaps allow Vortix to drop that hatch even faster.
Yeah, this is what he did the last game too, and it worked out really well for him. He's going to be able to drop it down. Looks like MaNa once again is going for a Nexus first, so it would be difficult for him to put on that pylon block right afterwards. Probe was down to just 5 hit points, but does survive. And taking a look at things, everything's just starting off as normal as it could be. 2 more hatcheries are going to drop down for Vortix. That's number 1. Number 2 should pop up here in about 30 seconds. MaNa, on the other hand, has some flexibility if he wants to go for a big 2-base play, but more often than not, we've been seeing Protoss players just knock down the rocks, full wall this off, and go up to 3 bases.
All right, it looks like this probe is probably going to get hunted down. Actually, no, Vortix says, I don't even need to kill your probe. I'm just going to keep running all the way at your base, but MaNa's had plenty of time to set up a full wall, and the cannon is... oh, he doesn't have a full wall, and he's... Okay, now he's got the full wall as he covers up his ramp there. But these Lings are going to show up and try to nibble down that cannon as quick as he can. Probes cannot repair, so really they don't need to be hanging out here for the moment. Is he starting another? Yes, another cannon is getting started. This first one does get canceled, and now the probes are going to get chewed down, so Vortix with an early advantage.
That was a mistake by MaNa. He should have full walled here rather than up at the top.
I agree.
Because these Zerglings would not have had the potential to move in and do that damage. Even if they take 1 or 2 probes with them, they've more than justified their cost, and with the cancels and the photon cannons and just disrupting MaNa's overall build, I mean, the cybernetics core hasn't even been started yet.
Yeah, he's slowing things way down here. All the lost mining time for how many probes? 5, 6 probes there, just chilling to try and kill those 2 Lings. The Zealot did come out. 3 workers were killed. Cannons were canceled. Things worked out quite well there for Vortix for a very, very cheap cost of 6 Lings or something like that. And now a 3rd base is coming up for Vortix, so he'll try and get his drone dominance really going here.
And those were just the Lings he normally starts the game with. I mean, that wasn't anything special. That's map control and map presence Lings. So now MaNa is chrono boosting out double Zealots. Wants to put on some pressure here in a bit. Vortix could certainly be worried about this possibility. Oh, he could get in position and see chrono boost on the gateways, and he does.
Oh, good. I mean, that's going to give him a lot of indication of what MaNa's going to be doing now. We've got 12 Lings started very, very quickly here for Vortix. He could actually follow this up. He's not even built an extractor. There's no gas or anything. It's not even going to be able to research Ling speed for a while. Here's the first extractor, but he's going to have quite a lot of Lings to react to whatever MaNa throws at him. And
there are 3 Zealots, I believe. Yeah, 3 Zealots out. See if he tries to put on some pressure, or if he's just going to sit back and keep those defensive in a defensive position. And Vortix does see all 3 Zealots and could actually engage that here in a bit. We know that no +1 weapons has even been started. MaNa going to try and work himself back into a corner, but look at that from Vortix. Does a great job to ensure he gets the most surface area possible and kills those Zealots very, very cost efficiently.
Yeah, Vortix still staying on top of his game. We've got something hidden down here. Is that a probe alone? Okay, he has not built a pylon there or anything like that, but he does have the option of moving out here soon to be able to do that. MaNa just doesn't have have a whole lot of stuff back in his base yet. Does not really have multiple gateways, just the 2, and now our robotics facility coming up. Yeah, I'm just looking for more gateways. He doesn't have the income to be able to do it at the moment. Roach Warren coming up for Vortix means that he could do a pretty strong follow-through, working off of these 3 bases that he's had operational for quite a while now.
Yeah, we'll see if this next 100 gas goes right towards layer tech. It should. Yeah, there it is. So everything's operating pretty normal for him. And then Vortix sees up the ramp. He's got a great position. He scouts around. He sees the robotics facility, but that's it. There's a pylon on the top left. You may want to get over there just to start checking it. Make sure that nothing's going to be dropped down right away. Doesn't see anything behind the base, though, and that's what he was looking for.
Yep, sometimes players will hide Twilight Council or even a Stargate or something back there for the Overlord to just barely miss out on, so he does want to check the entire perimeter of Mana's base. Not going to find anything super sneaky, though, as the Overlord gets taken out. Mana, this would be a good time to actually build something sneaky, because you killed his scouting Overlord. He's probably not going to want to send one for another little while, as he was supply block there just for a moment, but even more links coming out. Zergling Speed will be done here soon. Lair will be done here soon, and he can do, you know, Roach Speed or just start teching immediately into Spire or Infestation Pit.
And
there's a Spire.
There's a Spire, yeah. And it's not a bad strategy on this map at all. I mean, Entomb Valley is sometimes where we commonly see those very, very, very long Mutalisk-based games. Now, at this stage, though, a lot of players, like, let's say, Startail Life, were playing this against a Protoss player, likely would have done it on 2 bases to establish a little bit of control and then continuing to just move up from there. Oh, and these Zerglings are going to trap so many units here, at least forcing so much energy out of those sentries. Well done. And
they look so pathetic, trapped in there. Stalker's like, get me out, I don't want these sentries.
But, you know, I mean, but the way that Vortix is doing it off of 3 bases means that he can just produce a ton of mutas right away. He's going to have enough gas for 12 of them, I think, right at the start. Yeah,
perhaps even more. I mean, he's got quite a lot of income at the moment. He's adding more extractors now, 2 more extractors onto a potential 4th base, and Mana is just now breaking through his own destructible rocks. That actually could backfire if he... Oh, no, he doesn't have that 3rd base started yet, so it's not really going to matter. He can just put his back to his natural and be fine in that regard. But the Spire will be done. He'll have enough for 12, 13 Mutalisks, probably close to 14 if he's got the larva to be able to spare. Yeah, there's 13 instantly, and we'll see if he's going to, you know, start and uses the rest of that gas for upgrades. +1 weapon upgrades would be expected, but he could just keep making more mutas with that, too.
He very well could. Let's see. There's +1 weapons. Okay.
And Roach Speed.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, he just finished Roach Speed?
Yeah, I think so.
Gotcha.
I'll check, but yes. Ventral Sacs. Yeah. So he's actually thinking of dropping along with this, with baneling. So following this up after the mutas are done, maybe with some drops. That's a very clever play.
Yeah.
And all these mutas are starting to gather up now, and that is quite the force.
Yeah, it's not terrible. Dropping could definitely help get past that crazy just hovel of buildings that he's got between his entrance and the natural, but we've got all these cannons going down very quickly, so any links who do manage to sneak in will be able to get some damage in. Look at all those buildings that the Immortals just kind of weave their way through. That's going to be totally bypassed if Vortix can get Ventral Sacs and get a nice staging area just south of Mana's base. The muta's already just, you know, distracting Mana quite a lot, perhaps forcing him even to move into a little bit of a different build, make more Stalkers than perhaps he wanted to initially. Dark Shrine is actually nearly done for Mana, and Blink will be done soon.
I just want to put this out there. Mana is ridiculously good. He is an unbelievably good Protoss player. And Vortix, up to this point, has just dominated him.
Yeah.
And, you know, I mean, there's certainly potential for Mana to recover here, but Vortix has just done so much damage. He's now killed 16 workers. He's continuing to stop these structures from you know, receiving any sort of real benefit. He loses a couple of mutas, but of course he stages up for the perfect baneling drop.
26 banelings are about to be loaded up in these overlords, not to mention all the supporting lings, and the mutas are going to be so distracting that Mana has to deal with them. He's not going to be able to just you know, take care of this huge overlord drop as fast as he'd like to, because then the mutas will just split his forces and take advantage of whatever side he's not defending against. So here we go. It looks like the banelings are... Do you think he's just going to drop them directly onto this choke so he can do the supplement? I think he will.
Yeah.
There's no army really for him to drop on except for these Stalkers, so he could just start right now. There he does. And all the banelings filing out. Mana's not even going to give us the satisfaction of the baneling explosions. Look at that. Vortix 2-0ing Mouz.MaNa to move into the round of 8.
Very impressive.